It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to another Calgary International Film Festival special edition. As usual, I am here with Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey, hey.
And a very special guest lead programmer for CIFF, Brenda Lieberman. Hey, Brenda.
Hi.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Let's rage on. Brenda, thank you so much for making this time with us. Can you maybe just tell us a little bit about what CIFF's got going on this week coming up next week?
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. So we've got, I don't know, there's got to be over 90 films that we've programmed now, and it's a mix of in cinema and online. So there's going to be a lot of options for people. There's films that are online only and some that are in cinema only, and then others have kind of the combo.
Wow.
So
that's
there should be something for everyone too in this festival.
Something for everybody. So
Absolutely.
Are there going to be some great filmmakers like we usually see from CIFF showing up to surprise us?
So we're not really encouraging filmmakers to come from out of town. We've got all the local filmmakers who are going to be at the cinema with Q&As for their screenings. There's about 10 of those.
Wow.
And then there's a Canadian film called Hazy Little Things that has the director and lead actress, writer, producer, Aaron Carter joining her as well. They'll be here for that. So they've got a connection to Calgary and Alberta, so they wanted to be here for the screening. So that one, and maybe one or two others are going to have as well. But other than that, it's a really different year. This has been a big adjustment for everybody.
Yeah, different look this year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the movie that you were most excited to program this year? There had to be one that stood out.
God.
Just one. You can give me two or three if you want.
I don't know. This is hard. Like I programmed a lot of films this year because we had to downsize. So I programmed all the world cinema, all the Canadian, and the late shows. So I have a lot of favorites in the lineup.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was busy. And you know, some are genre films. I don't know if you have like an area you want me to dive into, but some of my favorites are. There's definitely this French film called Jumbo that is an in-cinema only one.
We're both excited about that.
We will be in the
audience.
audience.
In love with an amusement park? Okay, good, yeah. That was the film we had booked originally at CIFF, and then we couldn't go online with it when we shifted gears. So it's really exciting that we were able to show it here at CIFF this year in cinema. And I hope people embrace it. It's all of its quirkiness.
That's cool.
Okay. My heart can't beat unless you tell it to.
Okay.
Oh, we're looking forward to that too.
Yeah, we're seeing that too.
We will also be in the audience for that.
Okay, great. Yeah, I know a lot of the ones I'm naming are actually in cinema ones. And, you know, a lot of the genre films particularly are a little bit more on the subtle side. Like you know, some people might be used to maybe a midnight style film where something is going to really come at you, or it's really like loud or energetic. But a lot of the films this year are really different, and part of it is because you know there's a change in vibe in the festival, and I thought that this was a good year to really change up what some of the programs look like. But a lot of these films just have taken some really bold chances in storytelling and like style of filming, and they're just really solid films on all levels, that to the point where we almost didn't know which series to put things in.
Wow.
So like you could almost take away the late show title or like the Canadian and whatever, and we've kind of lumped things into official selection this year in competition. So depending on what you're looking for, it's kind of better to sort by like genre or tag.
Yeah,
but I love those films.
Yeah,
you know, if you want something really different, sorry to interrupt, there's a really fun film. Like, if you guys are in the mood for a comedy, I really love this film, Eat Wheaties.
Oh, Eat Wheaties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Murray's very excited about
Murray's
that.
super excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone needs some humor. So, like,
Absolutely.
that's a good awkward comedy.
Yeah, this is a time where humor is important, right?
Yeah. Violation is a really powerful first feature by a duo, director, writer, producer team. Madeline, one of the directors, is also the lead, and it's a talent to watch, micro budget film, and it's fantastic. It's dark, and there's definitely some warnings for people on some of the content, but it's really, really well done.
I think we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I think Bryce and I are drooling right now. There's it's like that sounds everything that we love. So
we'll save that for when we're streaming a little later at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, I recommend. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say. So one of my favorite genres is ladies who kick ass and punch dicks. Is there any that might fit into that category that I should definitely go and see?
Well, definitely Violation has a kick-ass woman. It is a revenge film.
That's right. So she kicks ass and punch some dicks?
Yep. I'm not going to go into details.
All right.
Fair
well, we don't
enough.
need to see the detail. You've just made my day.
Yeah. But I don't know. Honestly, there's a ton of films with powerful leads throughout. I almost had to check and make sure oh my god, there's there's a ton where women are the focus or directing or just in really great roles. So I think it's a good year for cinema, and absolutely nothing was compromised this year in our programming to bring online and in cinema, for whatever fears some festivals might have had that, we didn't know, people didn't know if there was going to be enough content or films were going to be done in time. There's so much good stuff. And it's I could have programmed another dozen films easily.
Sweet.
So I'm really happy with the World Cinema lineup. So I think check out as much of that as you can.
I always do.
Yeah, we're big World Cinema fans. I kind of ignore the Americana side. I think I could probably speak for Bryce. We focus on world first.
I don't ignore it like Jim does,
but
I dabble in it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm all about the world cinema.
You guys, there's a lot that I could tell. Not that I should hear this show right now to your things that you two would like, but yeah, you should check out the Korean film Me and Me.
Yep,
we're there.
Really
we're there too.
One.
Yeah, it's on our list.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the lineup.
So with this being a COVID year, with you, normally your big thing is going to see a bunch of festivals. So this year you didn't get that opportunity. Did you find it harder to get the real vibe that you could bring some great stuff to CIFF this year?
Yeah, that was hard at first, and I was quite stressed about it because I had to really change how I approached the films, just having watched everything as screeners as opposed to in cinema. But there is some for sure from Sundance. So I did get to go to Sundance in person. And a lot of those films still carried around this year just because of obviously release dates changing.
Yeah.
And I did participate in a couple of online festivals. So I did get a pass for Cannes and a couple others. So yeah, there's still been ways to do it. It's not the same for sure.
Just gotta adapt.
But yeah, you just gotta adapt. And I don't know, I kind of just changed it up quite a bit. So I'd watch a series of Canadian films, and then if I felt like I was getting fatigued there, then I'd go to World, or then I'd go to late shows. So I did kind of try and keep switching it up and going back and forth.
So during the festival, a lot of people, obviously, you're kind of the face, in my opinion anyway, of CIFF at the festival too, as well as being the lead programmer. What is a day in the life of the lead programmer happen at the festival? And it's a B part question is, where do super fans get to view Brenda during the festival most of the time, you think?
Well, it's going to be really weird because we've pre-recorded all of our intros this year.
Oh.
So the only intros we're doing in cinema are for the local films, and then the Q&As. And yeah, we're just kind of, so I don't know where we're going to kind of have that. I think, like, you know, if some people wanted to do a meetup and sit at a patio or something between films, or, you know, something like that could be fun. But yeah, it's going to just, you know, the vibe's going to be a little bit different in that way.
So does that mean you're going to get to spend...
I'm going to have to find out
that means you're going to get to spend more time actually enjoying the festival around you think? Or are you still going to be working 24 hours a day like you normally do?
Well, I'm not 100% sure yet. Like, we're kind of trying to figure out what it's going to look like for staffing during the festival. So whether or not we'll be on site and observing, or working from home and just troubleshooting and dealing with emails and stuff, or, you know, or whether or not I'm going to actually have a bit of downtime during the festival to watch a few movies that I hadn't seen, because Brian programmed all the documentaries and the American Indie.
Okay.
And Adam programmed the short.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so that's kind of how we were divided this year. So there's some, like, you know, that fall between. So, you know, there's a great Canadian-American co-production called Shiva Baby that Brian and I, you know, both sought after. So there's some that are, you know, we both kind of worked pretty hard to bring to the festival, but there's a lot of films I haven't seen yet. So if I get a chance to watch some of the films Brian's programmed or Adam, that'd be great.
Yeah, it could be your year to actually be able to breathe and absorb the festival in a different way, right?
Yeah, possibly. So, and I'm actually really curious to see how this hybrid goes.
Yeah,
like it's.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
I really want people to, like, you know, get used to going to cinema again, because
that's what we've been preaching every week. Let's get some butts in the seats out of there.
Yeah, these films are really meant to be experienced on the big screen with the audience around you, and online is going to be great too, where people can have flexibility and new audiences can see what we've got. But yeah, I am looking forward to watching a film in cinema for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, one of the things that we know, just even from looking at some of the titles, some of them are selling out for the cinema shows. So this is a good sign for me too, that we tried to get into some other ones that we couldn't get into, and they're already sold out. So the message that I kind of want to push out there is, people, if there's a movie you want to see in the theater, get your tickets right away, right?
Yeah, I think so for sure. And, you know, do what makes people feel like what everyone should do to make themselves feel comfortable anywhere, right? So, you know, you come with your mask, and, you know, you get to pick your seat online where you want to sit, and you could, you know, get a sense of how busy the screening is going to be or not. But
yeah,
I feel like it's going to be, you know, it's going to be good. So
we've eaten up a lot of your time tonight, and I know as festival season gets closer, you're going to be even super busier. So we really want to thank you. But if there's one thing that you want people to know for this festival, what is that one thing you think that everybody should know?
Well, I just really recommend people to buy a bundle.
Yeah.
I think people should just, you know, buy a 5-pack or something to start with. Explore a few different options that maybe you wouldn't have before. And it's always good if you're going to watch at home to try and test your devices out ahead of time. We've got a way to do that on our website. You know, there's an opportunity for you to, like, you know, to get a chance before next week, check what your Chromecast is, or Apple AirPlay, or whatever the heck it's called, or, you know, what device you're going to use to watch things on, because you just don't want to like, you know, sit down and feel frustrated in any way, and like always,
not the way to go into a movie
just,
for sure. Get that stuff taken care of ahead of time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. So that's what I recommend, because I know personally, like, I'm not the greatest at doing that, and I get I get frustrated. So we've tried to put some options in place for people to figure out how to be prepared for streaming online. And so I just recommend people check out a handful of films at least, and tell a friend that's maybe not been a part of CIFF before to experience it for the first time.
You might reach a whole new audience doing it this way too. You never know.
Yeah.
This might reach a whole bunch more eyes. Let's hope that it does.
And this is obviously
and like my parents are in what?
Go ahead. No, go. What you say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, my parents are in Edmonton, and they're like so excited because they're like,
Absolutely, yeah.
we can watch. And my mom's got a book club, so she's like, tell me all the films that are based on books. Like,
Nice.
I want to tell all my friends, So that's exciting, where we get to reach a wider audience just provincially too, and we're doing Saskatchewan and Manitoba, so that's something to look forward to.
Silver linings.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the biggest numbers, because if Saskatchewan and Manitoba, who didn't want to drive here, now they can see a lot of these films online. This is a great thing, right?
Yeah, I hope people check it out from there for sure. So
I'm sure they will.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the festival goes. And I can't wait for you guys to tell me what you like and don't like. So
we will.
We will. We're going to be reviewing it every day. So that brings us actually to the plug part of this, which is everybody should go to ciffcalgary.ca. And is there anywhere else that people should look to find anything you want to share, Brenda?
I'm not sure about all the handles that we've got. Sorry, but I'd say go to the website, as you said, ciffcalgary.ca. You can link to our YouTube page to watch the different trailers. You could go to our Twitter and our Instagram, and our marketing team is posting lots of fun stuff for you to get familiar with the films. And two, we're also releasing new trailers all the time as we find out about them from these new films and filmmakers.
Yeah.
So we do add to the collection. So definitely check it out.
Perfect.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot to look forward to.
Yep. Well, thank you so much. This has been a special CIFF edition, or CIFF Calgary edition of Film Rage, where we've had the fantastic Brenda Lieberman, lead programmer for CIFF. And check out everything at filmrageyyc.com, where we're going to be following CIFF through the entire festival. Check out our podcast, which is playing everywhere. Thanks to everybody that's listening, and thanks everybody for getting your butts in seats. We need to support these theaters, and we need to support our festivals. So that's it for this week, at least for today, with Brenda. Brenda, thanks again, and we look forward to seeing you at the cinemas.
Thanks again.
Rage on, everybody.
Rage on.